Mic check 1 2. Channel 1, mic check. Channel 1, check. Channel 1, mic check. Mic check. Thursday, May 20th, Channel 1, check. Mic check. Audio.
Salzman. Hitting 7th, the first baseman, number 23, John Gonzalez. Batting 8th, the designated hitter, number 13, Quentin Ayers. Batting 9th, the shortstop, number 43, Walker Moore. And on the mound with a record of 5-1, number 21, Kyle Etheridge. Assistant coaches for the Nighthawks are Matt Hollid, Billy Newberry, and Sean Rooney. The head coach for NNU is Joe Schaefer. At this time, we ask everyone to arise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. This year's GNAC Baseball Championships is a best-of-3 series between NNU and Central Washington. Action will continue on Friday at noon, and if necessary, a third game will follow at approximately 3:30 p.m.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Vail Baseball Field as we get set for the 2021 GNAC Baseball Championships. A two-team best-of-3 series this year instead of the typical four-team double elimination format. It pits the number 1 seed Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks against the number 2 seed Central Washington Wildcats. And quite the pitching matchup here for game number 1 of the series as we have the top 2 strikeout pitchers in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference going at it, Kyle Etheridge and Dylan Larson. The Nighthawks hosting the championships this season and also serving as the designated home team for game number 1 as they were tops in the GNAC with 29 wins and 7 losses on the year. So they look for win number 30 of the season, and they put their freshman lefty on the bump in Kyle Etheridge. 5-1 record and a 4.24 ERA this season for Etheridge. Let's take a look at the lineups before we get this game underway. Wildcats are going to lead off with Zach Berryman, the left fielder. Michael Copeland will hit behind him. Mitch Lesmeister in the 3 spot. Austin Olin, Tyler McClain, Michael Peter, Trevor Tripoli, Jason Hill, and Adam Fossil will be the 9 coming to the plate today for Central Washington. Again, Dylan Larson will get the start pitching for Central Washington. 3-1 record, 5.90 ERA for him. So Berryman steps into the right-handed batter's box to get us going. The defense behind Etheridge, Ben Johnson's his catcher, John Gonzalez at first, Colton Moore at second, Walker Moore at short, Sean Grandmont at third, Alex Salzman will be in left, Ryan Deering in center, and Grant Carey in right field. We start with a called strike on Berryman. We get underway. 12:05, the first pitch. 1:05, that is, the first pitch here in Nampa. One offering in for Berryman. Miss outside for 2 balls and 1 strike. Kyle Etheridge out of Altaloma, California, getting his second look at the Wildcats this season. 2-1 is fouled straight back, 2-2. on the year for Etheridge. This is start number 11. Has started every outing he has had this year. 2-2 for Berryman. Fouled away, remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And of those 10 previous starts, a 5-1 record, 4.24 earned run average, 46 2/3 innings of work. Tops on the team for the Nighthawks in all of those categories. 2-2, swing and a miss, and Etheridge will start his day with a strikeout, his 68th of the season. And we got one away here in the top of the first.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 15, Michael Copeland.
That brings up Michael Copeland, 1 out, nobody on. Left on lefty this matchup. Cutting a tip foul into the dirt. No balls and 1 strike. Last time Etheridge saw Central Washington, it was back in March. Face the Wildcats on March 19th through 5 innings. This is 0-1 in for called strike number 2. You have 2 runs on 5 hits, walked 2, and struck out 10. That is one of 3 outings this season where Etheridge has reached double figures in strikeouts and appearance. Had a season high 12 Ks against St. Martin's on March 26th. Count 1 and 2 now on Copeland, the DH. 1-2, that runs inside, catches him on the hip. So Etheridge loses him, had him in a 1-2 count. Instead, it'll be a free base for Copeland.
Stepping to the plate, the third baseman, number 9, Mitch Westmeister.
For Etheridge, that is the 4th batter he has hit this season. As a team, for the NNU pitching staff, that is the 48th batter put on by a hit by a pitch. So 1 on and 1 out now for the Wildcats in the top of 1. This will be the lone game played here today, as originally this was slated to be a 3-team tournament. It's been narrowed to 2. So instead of a round robin for 3 teams, it'll just be a best-of-3 series. 1-0 foul down the right field line. This is Mitch Westmeister at the plate. His count moves 1-1. So just the 1 o'clock start here today for this 9-inning contest. Tomorrow we'll get going at noon. These are Mountain Standard Times. Should the winner of this game win in Game 1 tomorrow, that's the series, and we'll have our GNAC champion. But there is the possibility of Game 3 if necessary. 1-1, misses in the dirt for ball number 2. They try back pick to first. Throw down from Johnson, not in time. Copeland slides back in safely. Runner at first, that's Michael Copeland, the DH. Hit by a pitch in a 1-2 count. Etheridge from the stretch. Fly ball to right on the 2-1. Carey moving back on it. He's got room, settles underneath. Makes a catch for out number 2. NNU and Central Washington able to face off just 4 times during the regular season. They had their second series canceled. They're supposed to play in Ellensburg towards the end of April, but that did have to get canceled. So the only time they saw each other was March 19th and 20th here in Nampa. Central took the first game of the series 4-2. Nighthawks would win the next 3 by scores of 7-2, 7-3, and 3-1. This is Austin Olin, the catcher, hitting in the cleanup spot. Fouls it back 0-2 his count. 2 outs and a runner at first. O2 offering. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts here in the first for Kyle Etheridge as he leaves a runner at first base. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. Central Washington goes scoreless in the top of 1. NNU will get their first chance at the plate with Deering, Moore, and Grandmont coming. Quiet top of the first for Central Washington. They do get a base runner on by a hit by a pitch. Michael Copeland left at first. And so now Northwest Nazarene getting their first chance at the plate. Ryan Deering, Colton Moore, and Sean Grandmont due up in the bottom of 1-0-0 score. Game number 1 of the 2021 GNAC Baseball Championships. Dylan Larson, the lefty, getting the start for Central Washington. First pitch delivered. A called strike for Deering, the center fielder. Larson, a senior, makes his home in Ellensburg. Didn't go far for his collegiate ball. 6'5", 230 pounds. 0-1 offering. Deering lays off and it misses. Low and outside. 1-1. On the season for Larson, again, both he and Etheridge coming into today tied for the GNAC lead in strikeouts, 67 apiece during the regular season. 2-1, sharply hit towards short. Trevor Tripley, a couple steps to his left, able to make the play for out number 1. Nicely done by the shortstop, 1 away.
Now batting the second baseman, number 5, Colton Moore.
Dylan Larson comes into today, 3-1 record, 5.90 his earned run average. This will be start number 8 of the season for him. He's thrown 39 2/3 innings, again striking out 67. 1 away, nobody on for the second baseman, Colton Moore. First pitch called strike on him. So it's left-on-left matchups for the first 2 batters that Larson has seen. Moore, a 284 hitter. Gets a piece of that one on the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Colton was a first-teamer this year in the All GNAC honors. They just came out a few days ago. One of 6 Nighthawks to make the first-team All GNAC. And a big part of the offense this year is he scored 39 runs. That's tops on the team and 4th in the conference in runs scored. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 1-2 from Larson. That one just misses outside, 2-2. Last time Larson was on the hill, week ago to the day, through 5 innings against St. Martin's. Gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. 2-2 breaking ball, got him looking. And that'll be the first strikeout of the day for Larson. They have 2 down here in the bottom of 1.
Now batting the third baseman, number 12, Sean Grandmont.
Again, Larson has started 7 games this season, has struck out at least 8 in every appearance he has made, and struck out 15 back on April 10th in 7 innings of work. Very efficient on the hill. 2 outs, nobody aboard for Sean Grandmont. Grandmont, 346 batting average. Takes a 1-0 at the knees, 1-1. 1 of 4 players for NNU hitting 300 or better. They're led by Deering's 379 average. Grant Carey, who waits on deck right now, not far behind at 376. 1-1 pitch. Grandmont swings over the top, 1-2, and Larson now a strike away from a clean bottom of 1. Line out to short and a strikeout looking so far. He's facing his first right-hander of the day. 1-2 fouled off on the right side. Again, NNU looking for win number 30 of their season. 1-2 chop to third. Les Meister's got some time. Throw comes in a little bit high, but Grandmont out by a step. That'll wrap up a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left aboard. 0-0. We head to the top of 2.
In the bottom half of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors. No Nighthawks left on base. At the end of 1, your score 0. this time to thank the administration and staff at Northwest Nazarene University, led by Athletic Director Kelly Lindley, for serving as the host of the 2021 GNAC Baseball Championships.
Make you stay.
Leading off, the right fielder, number 25, Tyler McLean.
Dylan Larson sets him down in order in the bottom of the first inning. Northwest Nazarene 0, Central Washington 0. As we go to the top of the second, this will be McLean, Peter, and Tripoli, the 3-2 up for Central Washington. First pitch in from Kyle Etheridge will be called strike number 1. This is the 5-6-7 in the Wildcats order. Left a man aboard in the top of 1 after a hit by pitch. 0-1 flown into right field. Gary moving towards the gap is able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. So bats quiet early for both sides. We've seen a couple of flyouts to right from Central Washington. NNU not able to get it out of the infield in the bottom of 1. Ryan Deering did make sharp contact out to short, but solid play by Tripoli at short would put that away for the first out of the bottom of 1. 0-1 now the count. This is Michael Peter, the second baseman. Wind will be playing a factor in this game as it's blowing in from right field. 0-1 chopper out to first. Gonzalez has it. He'll go to the bag himself for the out. We're 2 away. That's 4 consecutive retired now by Etheridge.
Now batting shortstop, number 2, Trevor Tripoli.
So quickly 2 away. That brings up Trevor Tripoli. First pitch, swing and a miss by Tripoli. 7th batter faced for Kyle Etheridge. 0-1 misses high and outside. Evens the count 1-1. He's only needed 23 pitches at this point. 1-1 grounder out to second. Moore's got it. Brings the man off the bag, and they're going to say Gonzalez didn't get the tag on. And so now time is going to be asked for by the NNU head coach Joe Schaefer to discuss the call. So Colton Moore makes a sidearm throw from second base. It brings first baseman John Gonzalez off the bag towards home. Now the question is going to be, did he get a tag on Trevor Tripoli or not? It's either going to be an air reach or the inning's going to be over. We'll have a meeting of the minds out towards third base. So try and figure out if anyone had a good look at it. I think the only one that can overturn this call would be the home plate umpire. I don't see how anyone else would have a look. And they're going to uphold the call. And that's going to be an error on Colton Moore. So second reach of the ball game for Central Washington. And it keeps the top of 2 alive. As it goes in the book, a throwing error, E4. So 1 on and 2 outs. Here's Jason Hill. 25th pitch of the game for Etheridge. will be a strike, as they're going to say that Hill came around on it, 0-1. Oh, one breaking ball is swinging a miss, 0-2. The Nighthawks riding a hot streak coming into the GNAC Championships, winners of 12 of their last 14 games, and they have won 10 straight games against a conference opponent. 0-2. A little bit low on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs and Tripoli at first after the air reach. 1-2, grounder out to Moore. Ranges to his left. Takes care of it this time. And that will end the top of the second. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left on. It stays 0-0. Bottom of 2, it's going to be Carey, Johnson, and Salzman due up.
Nighthawk error, 1 man left on base. Score is 0-0, headed to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Nighthawks, the right fielder, number 35, Grant Carey.
Scoreless ball game heading to the bottom of 2. A 2-out air reach does not come back to bite the Nighthawks, as Kyle Etheridge has allowed 2 runners on so far, a hit batter and an air reach, but other than that, it's been clean baseball for him. Carey, Johnson, Salzman, middle of the NNU order, coming up in the bottom of 2 to face a left-hander, Dylan Larson. His first pitch in for Grant Carey will miss for ball number 1 as he faces the GNAC Newcomer of the Year. Carey, a Division I transfer from Boise State Broncos. It's a hold of the 1-0. Sharp grounder out to short. Tripoli. Throw's going to be there in plenty of time for the first out of the inning. 4 up and 4 down so far for Larson.
Now batting the catcher, number 14, Ben.
Larson's been about as reliable as they come for the Wildcats this year. In 3 of his last 4 outings, he has thrown 7 innings and has gone at least 5 to qualify for a win in each of his last 5 appearances. He's now got the catcher Ben Johnson to deal with. 1-0 the count to the right-hander. Line back up the middle, and there's the first hit of the ball game. It's a 1-out single for Ben Johnson, and NNU will get their first base runner.
Now batting the left fielder, number 32, Alex Salzman.
That's the 31st hit of the season for Johnson, who was hitting .330 on the year coming into the game. 1 on and 1 out. Alex Salzman gets his first chance at the plate. Slowing outside, ball number 1. For Central Washington, this is their first trip to the GNAC Championship since 2018. For NNU, they were here in 2019. Pickoff move not going to be in time. Both of these teams have won a championship since the GNAC championships began back in 2013 on the baseball side. Wildcats got their title in 2014, coming in as a number 2 seed and breezing through that tournament with a 3-0 record. NNU won it 2 years later in 2016. They were also the number 2 seed in that tournament. Went 2-1 to capture the title. 1-1 count after Salzman way out in front of the off-speed stuff. There's a cut and a miss. 1-2. One away, runner at first. We just saw Ben Johnson single up the middle. For the Nighthawks, this is their 4th appearance in the championships, 3rd for Central Washington. Fouled back. Salzman stays alive in a 1-2. NNU has now been in 5 of the last 6 GNAC championships, only missing in 2018. And Central's been in 3 of the last 4. So neither of these teams a stranger to postseason action. 1-2. Just gets a piece of it. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Ben Johnson at first. Hard single up the middle. That's the best contact we've seen yet against Larson now. Granted, he was only the 5th batter that Larson faced. 1-2. Gets a swing and a miss. And the second strikeout today for Larson, his first swinging K, and we have 2 away.
Now batting the first baseman, number 23, John Gonzalez.
That brings up John Gonzalez. Seen a couple of offenses that certainly don't have trouble putting runs on the board, but it's been pitching the story of these first couple innings. Pickoff move over to first is not in time. NNU has scored in double figures 11 times this season, including 25 runs they scored against St. Martin's on April 30th. It was part of a run of 4 games. They scored a combined 63 runs. First pitch for John Gonzalez fouled away, 0-1. On the other side, for Central Washington, they scored in double figures 8 times this season. They had a 30-run game against St. Martin's. So the Saints taking a little bit of a beating from both of these teams this year. 2 outs, runner at first, and a 1-1 count. Gonzalez, first baseman, had to come off the bag, tried to make that tag in the bottom of 1. 1-1 pitch lifted high in deep right field. McLean back to the wall. No chance at this one. A 2-run home run, and the Nighthawks have struck first. John Gonzalez, a 2-run home run. His team leading 13th home run of the season, and it is 2-0 Northwest Nazarene. No question about that one off the bat, and that was going into the wind as well. It's been blustery in from right field all day. Doesn't matter as Gonzalez cranks it. So hits for 2 of the last 3 batters for NNU. Here's Quentin Ayers. First pitch at the knees, called strike number 1. Larson had retired the first 4 batters he saw. Got himself past the top of the order, and it's been the 5 and the 7 hitters and have been able to ding him. Here's the 0-1 for Ayers. This is high, 1-1. And it was in that left-on-lefty matchup, no less. Gonzalez pulls a 2-run home run to right. 1-1. Sliced foul on the right side. Gonzalez, that's his first home run since May 6th. He had a 2-home run game against Biola. 1-2 pitch, cut and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning, third of the game for Larson, but damage done. 2-run score on 2 hits, nobody left aboard. 2-run home run for John Gonzalez has the Nighthawks up 2-0 as we go to the third.
Nighthawks score 2 runs on 2 hits, no one left on base. At the end of 2, your Nighthawks lead it 2-0. Leading off for the Wildcats, the center fielder, number 7, Adam Fossil.
John Gonzalez cranks a 2-run home run to the left and makes this a 2-0 Northwest Nazarene lead. We got 2 innings in the books as Kyle Etheridge is back for his 3rd inning of work. Be facing the 9-1-2 hitters for Central Washington. Wildcats have some work to do. This is Adam Fossil leading off in the top of 3. Offering misses for a ball. A 1-1 the count on Fossil. Last batter that Etheridge hasn't faced. Misses high and away, 2-1. This 28 pitches. There's a called strike, 3-1. 28 pitches to get through 2 innings for Etheridge. Been fairly efficient so far. And there's a called strike. Fossil had tossed the bat. He thought he was heading to first. He'll have to come back to the plate for the 3-2. Etheridge gets him back to full count. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Etheridge down in the count, 3-0. Battles back for the strikeout. That's his 3rd today. And we got 1 down in the top of 3.
The left fielder, number 11, Zach Berryman.
We appreciate you spending your Thursday afternoon with us for Game 1 of the GNAC Baseball Championships. Certainly a different look this year, but a couple of high-quality baseball teams going at it. Is Northwest Nazarene not only hosting the GNAC Championships this week, likely to host the NCAA Regionals, which would start next week, as 1-0 fouled back 1-1. Now, that's not a given. Azusa Pacific also a chance to host. But it seems that the Nighthawks, unless something out of the ordinary happens in the next 2 days, the Nighthawks will be the host of the regionals. Count is 2-1. I haven't seen a GNAC team host a baseball regional since 2012 when Western Oregon hosted it. Played those games at Volcano Stadium in Kaiser. 2-2 fouled off on the right side. Berryman 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the top of the 1st inning. 1 of 3 Ks so far for Etheridge. Here's a chopper out to short. More weights back on it. Throw to first in time.
Now batting the designated hitter.
Last time we saw a GNAC team in the regional
Copeland.
is MSUB made it in 2019. As that was the first year of the automatic qualifying for the conference. And MSUB went to Concordia University and won the GNAC championships, taking down Western Oregon in the championship series, going 3-0 over the 3-day tournament. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Michael Copeland. Breaking ball, tip foul, and he's quickly down 0-2. Etheridge not messing around, been attacking, getting ahead early in counts. It's been able to help him keep his pitch count low. Here's the 0-2. It's fouled back, no balls, 2 strikes, it remains. Copeland did reach in the first. He was hit by a pitch. Etheridge had him in a 1-2 count, then put one on his hip. Just misses outside, 1-2. One-two offering. Breaking ball laced into center field. That'll fall in for a base knock. First of the day for Central Washington, and the second reach for Copeland. He's got himself a 2-out single to keep the top of the third alive.
Now batting the third baseman, number 9, Mitch Lesmeister.
First pitch in, this is Mitch Lesmeister. Popped up foul ground. Gonzalez giving chase, going diving for it. He can't quite get there. That's a tough chase for a first baseman, having to look at it over the shoulder the whole way. Gonzalez gives it a fair shake. 0-1 now the count. Lesmeister 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Seeing kind of two ends of the coaching spectrum in the GNAC faced off for his 2021 title. 0-1 pitch. Misses away 1-1 as you get Joe Schaefer now in his third season with NNU. And he's one of a couple of coaches just fresh to the GNAC. Kelly Gow at St. Martin's. Derek Waddups with MSUB. He only got a partial season in last year, so this is his first full regular season that he's been able to take care of the Yellow Jackets program. 1-2 flown right field, right on the line. Carey gets underneath, makes a catch, and that will end the top of the third inning. 2-out single is left at first base, as it's been 3 scoreless on the hill for Kyle Etheridge. 2-0 Northwest Nazarene up. They'll come back to the plate for the bottom of 3.
shortstop, number 43, Walker Moore.
I'm a bad man. James Dean, kind of Steve McQueen, straight out the Badlands. I roll in and rain down.
Northwest Nazarene will flip the lineup card here in the third, leading 2-0 after the John Gonzalez two-run homer in the second. Walker Moore, Ryan Deering, Colton Moore, the three batters due up to face Dylan Larson. He's in for his third inning of work so far. 2 innings, 2 runs on 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks allowed by Larson. 0-1 pitch for the left-hander in the dirt, 1-1. That 2-run home run allowed by Larson in the second. It's 1-1, misses low, 2-1. That was just the third home run he has allowed this season in over 40 innings of work. Opponents have only been able to hit .219 off of him. John Gonzalez coming up with a big hit for the Nighthawks. 2-1 fouled off left side, 2-2. Back to that thought on coaching in the GNAC and seeing different sides of the coaching spectrum. We got Joe Schaefer very early on in his head coaching with the Nighthawks, just in his third season, and then Desi Story on the other side for Central Washington. Not only the longest tenured coach right now in the conference, but period, as he's now working on year number 20 with the Wildcats, winningest coach in conference history. As he's just shy of 450, 445, the win total for him in 20 years with the Wildcats. Two-two pitch. Moore lays off as he's up around the chin. Full count. Three-two, cut and a miss. So like I say, Moore came around. That's his fourth strikeout today for Dylan Larson. One away in the bottom of the third.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Ryan Deering.
Schaefer, as we talked about in season number 3, won GNAC Coach of the Year this season. Coaching a very impressive Northwest Nazarene team. The NCAA polls ranked 8th in the nation right now, 2nd in the West region. It's behind Azusa Pacific, who is ranked 1st in the West, but ranked 17th in the nation. So flip-flop those two between the regional and the national polls. Swing and a miss. This is Ryan Deering for his second at bat, and he's in an 0-2 count. Lined out to short his first time up. And NNU right on the border of one of their best seasons as far as win total is concerned in over a decade. Deering a little check swing, the little peel down. Yes, he did go, and that's back-to-back strikeouts, and actually make it 3 in a row for Larson. He has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters, with the only exception in there being the homer for Gonzalez back in the second. 2 away. Brings up Colton Moore, who went down looking in the first. 2 outs and no one on. First pitch in for him. High fly ball into center field. Fossil working back onto the warning track, as that one really had some carry on it. That's going to be caught by Fossil for a long out, number 3. Larson sets him down in order in the bottom of the third. It remains a 2-0 NNU lead. We head to the fourth.
catcher, number 37, Austin Olin.
Dylan Larson settles back in and retires the side in order in the bottom of 3. It remains 2-0, Northwest Nazarene leading. Got all their offense done in the second inning. One out single for Ben Johnson, then a 2-run home run from John Gonzalez a couple batters later. Got us to where we are now. Middle of the order for Central Washington, Olin, McLean, and Peter. It's a 1-0 count called strike on Olin, makes it 1-1. For Central Washington, just picked up their first hit of the game in the third. It was a 2-out single for Michael Copeland as he flared one back up the middle. Only 3 total hits in this game. Couple singles and the homer. 1-2, flown into center field. Deering working back on it. Looking over his shoulder, he's back to the wall. And Oland with a leadoff homer in the fourth gets Central Washington their first run of the game. It's now 2-1. Austin Oland with his 5th home run, and for him, just as John Gonzalez did, it was his team-leading 5th home run. This has not been a big power-hitting team, the Wildcats. They only got 4 players that have been able to crank out homers this season. Olin's now got 5. Tyler McLean, who's at the plate, right behind him with 4. And then Berryman and Justin Hampson each with 1. There's still nobody out. Time called for late by McLean. It's granted as Etheridge was just about to start his wind. Pitch misses outside. So despite wind working against him, you've seen home runs from John Gonzalez and now Austin Oland. 2-0 for McLean has popped up high on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Walker Moore calls for it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 8, Michael.
Here's Michael Peter. And that baseball just really carries to center field here. And the bottom of the third inning, Colton Moore, really deep fly out to center. Looked like a fairly routine fly ball, ended up being a fly out to the warning track. And then Austin Oland's off the bat. Certainly didn't seem like it was going to get out, just continued to carry and carry, and then all of a sudden there it went. This is Michael Peter with 1 out, nobody on. He's quickly in an 0-2 count. Kyle Etheridge picks up his 4th strikeout as he gets a swing and a miss. Puts Michael Peter away on 3 pitches. So after the leadoff home run to start the inning, it's been 2 quick outs. Here's Trevor Tripoli. 2 away and the base is empty. First pitch for Tripoli will be a called strike. 1 put back up the middle. Deering has the read on it, couple steps to his left, and that'll finish off the top of 4. Run scores on the leadoff homer from Austin Olin. The GNAC Freshman of the Year gets the Wildcats on the board. 2-1, Northwest Nazarene leads. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
3.5. Wildcats 1, Nighthawks 2. The NCAA salutes its more than 400,000 student athletes participating in 23 sports and 89 national championships. For more information about those championships, log on to ncaa.com.
3.5 in the books here at Vail Baseball Field in Nampa, Idaho. 2-1 our score. Northwest Nazarene leading Central Washington. It was a home run from Austin Oland to lead off the top of the fourth that got the Wildcats on the board. Grandmont, Carey, and Johnson, 3-4-5 hitters for NNU, are coming up here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They face Dylan Larson, who is back for his fourth inning of work. 3 innings so far for Larson, 61 pitches, 2 runs on 2 hits, 5 strikeouts so far for the lefty. This misses for 2-0 the count. Larson in his final season of collegiate baseball, named to the All GNAC first team this year. 9th best ERA of qualified pitchers in the conference, 5.90. 2-1 the count on Grandmont. 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. One gets him to swing over the breaking ball. 2-2. Two pitch. Fastball got him looking. 6 strikeout in 3 1/3 innings for Dylan Larson. Last time Larson faced Northwest Nazarene was back on March 19th, struck out 10 in 5 innings. Not quite on pace for that now, but not far off of it. 1 away, here's Grant Carey. And that's been strikeouts of 4 of the last 5 batters and 5 of the last 7 for Larson. Of his 6 total strikeouts, 2 have been looking. Grant Carey, the right fielder, waiting the 0-1. High and away, 1-1. Both these teams have seen their fair share of players drafted in the June amateur draft. 1-1. One hopper out to second off the glove of Michael Peter. It's going to be an error on the second baseman and a 1-out reach for Carey.
Now batting the catcher, number 14, Ben Johnson.
So second error we've seen in the game, first for the Central defense. That brings up Ben Johnson, who singled and scored in the second. 2-1, Nighthawks leading. Winner today certainly gets themselves some breathing room. There's a slicer foul on the right side. Again, this is going to be a best of 3 game series. Winner today will have 1 game of buffer tomorrow. They can afford a loss and still capture a title, whereas you lose today, you got to win 2 tomorrow. Again, we'll get going at noon Mountain Standard Time tomorrow. Runner takes off on the 0-1 pitch. Misses, and throw out to second will not be in time. There's a stolen base for Grant Carey. Well, for Carey, that's just his 5th steal of the season. He's been very efficient when he does steal. 5 for 5 now on attempts. A runner in scoring position, 1 away. Here's Ben Johnson. A 1-1 flown to right field. Moving back on it is McLean. He's going to get underneath it, makes a catch. Carey's going to tag, and he's going to have plenty of time to get himself over to third. So Johnson retired for the 2nd out of the inning. And now the 3rd run of the game for the Nighthawks, just 90 feet from home. Here's Alex Salzman.
Now batting the left fielder, number 32, Alex Salzman.
Salzman struck out swinging his first time up. Larson trying to get himself out of just a little bit of trouble. First pitch. Salzman takes a strike. Oh, 1 called strike number 2. Oh, outer half on the first 2 pitches for Salzman. Doesn't like either, and he lays off. 0-2. Salzman gets a piece to stay alive. Line score of the ball game right now. Central Washington's got a run on 2 hits and an error. NNU 2 runs on 2 hits and an error. Scoring for both sides coming on home runs. Runner at third and 2 away. Larson a strike away from making it a scoreless 4th. And the 0-2 will miss 1-2. Larson starting to labor a little bit. Up to 57 pitches. Here's 58. The breaking ball is just nicked foul by Salzman. Using the third base side of the rubber. Larson's 1-2. Goes off speed again, and Salzman gets a piece to stay alive. Alex Salzman Jr. from Meridian, Idaho, not far from home. Did go play some junior college ball in Oregon before coming back to Nampa to play for Northwest Nazarene. 1-2. Drives this one into left field. Berryman not going to be able to get there. It falls in for a base hit. Nice little at-bat there for Alex Salzman. Turns it into an RBI single. That'll be an unearned run. That goes against Larson. Carey got aboard on the E4 fielding error of Michael Peter, and it's now a 3-1 Northwest Nazarene lead. Alex Salzman battles and battles, keeps fouling off the breaking ball from Larson, and is able to square one up and drive it to left for a base hit, extend this lead back to 2 for the Nighthawks, and keep the bottom of the 4th alive. Here's John Gonzalez. Has already got a home run on his ledger today. 2-run dinger back in the 2nd in his lone at bat. He is 1 for 1. That was the 13th home run of the season for Gonzalez. Good for 2nd in the conference, only behind Daniel Cipriano of MSUB. And that Yellow Jacket team, man, they hit for power up and down that lineup. MSUB this season, 71 home runs in 40 games. 1-1 pitch. That's in for a strike on Gonzalez. 1-2. One-two pitch misses in the dirt. Runner takes off, trying to take second. And Salzman will be retired. Good throw out from Oland. And that will end the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 run scores on 1 hit, 1 error. Nobody left on base, so Gonzalez will have to come back to the plate in the 5th. 3-1 our score. Northwest Nazarene leads. We got 4 in the books.
Nobody left on base. At the end of 4, Central Washington 1, NNU 3. Make sure to stay current on all the latest events, news, stats, and standings for the Great Northwest Athletic Conference by visiting the conference website at GNACsports.com. baseman number 33, Jason Hill.
Top of 5, back to a 2-run lead for Northwest Nazarene. 3-1 our score after a 2-out RBI single for Alex Salzman brings in Grant Carey to score. An unearned run going against Dylan Larson, but a 2-run lead nonetheless for the Nighthawks. Jason Hill leads off here in the top of the 5th for the Wildcats. Fouls off his 0-1. He's down 0-2. Central Washington finishing up their second trip through the order. Managed 2 hits so far, one of them a big one, that leadoff home run from Austin Oland in the 4th to get them their lone run of the ball game. Another 0-2, and there's a swing and a miss. 5th strikeout for Kyle Etheridge. One away in the top of the 5th. Etheridge, who won the GNAC Pitcher of the Week honor 3 times this season. Trying to keep pace with Dylan Larson in strikeouts. They came in as a tie for first with 67 strikeouts on the year. So far, Larson's had 6 in 4 innings. It's been 5 in 4 1/3 for Etheridge. One out, and the base is empty for Adam Fossil. Struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. 1-1 pitch. Spins down into the dirt, swinging over the top of a breaking ball, 1-2. It's turned into a nice day for baseball here in Nampa. That misses high and away, 2-2. Still windy, as we talked about, coming in from right field. The temperature's sitting in the low 60s, and a little bit of blue sky peeking through. Fossil fouls it away, remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Be interesting to see how the 3-team regional stacks up right now. The wrench in the spokes being at Western Oregon, who's currently ranked 3rd in the West region, had to step away from the GNAC championships for health and safety protocols. So if they're able to hang on to that number 3 spot in the West Regionals, they could be coming here to Nampa next week. 3-2 misses. That'll be a 1-out walk. That's the first base on balls given up by Etheridge, and in fact, that's the first walk we have seen from either side in this game. So Etheridge now has hit a batter and walked one. That'll bring the tying run to the plate as we come back to the top of the order. Here's Zach Berryman. So Central Washington, who currently sits number 5 in the West Region rankings, at this point they're pretty much going to need to win these GNAC championships, pick up the automatic qualifying berth to get in. That would knock out Western Oregon. It's likely what we're seeing is either Azusa Pacific, NNU, and Western Oregon, or Azusa Pacific, NNU, and Central Washington, just depending on what happens over the next 2 days. Those are the 2 most likely scenarios. Concordia University of California also in the mix in the number 4 spot. Pitch misses inside, 3-1. So Etheridge having a little bit of trouble finding strikes against these last 2 batters. Fossil boarded first after the 1-out walk. Berryman fouls it away, and the count now full. Pick off move over to first is not in time. Another pickoff move over to first, no good. One out and a runner aboard. Here's a payoff pitch to the plate. This one flown down the right field line. Wind could keep it fair, and it does as it falls in. Going to be extra bases for Berryman as he'll slide into second safely. Fossil holds up at third. It's back-to-back reaches for Central Washington. A one-out double for Berryman, and that has put the tying run in scoring position for the Wildcats. Sixth double this season for Berryman. And overall, his 10th extra base hit. A base hit here, the potential to tie this game. And we're going to see our first mound visit of the day. Here's Matt Holland to have a conversation with his young left-hander. Etheridge, again, just a freshman, but putting up some really impressive numbers. In 4 1/3 so far, 5 strikeouts, but last two batters have reached a walk and then a double for Berryman down the right field line. On a less windy day, that one might fall in foul. Had a good 10 feet off the line. It would have been real close without the wind, but the wind certainly did keep it in fair territory. So we get back to action with the designated hitter Michael Copeland, the batter. He has not been retired in this game. Copeland 1 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first, then singled in the third. He's got Berryman at second, Fossil at third. Corners moved in for NNU. This Grandmont and Gonzalez, each on the edge of the grass. First pitch for Copeland. Takes it for a ball. Well, the left-handed hitting DH is getting played defensively as a push hitter, as he's got a lot of room down that right field line, and Salzman at left, a couple steps closer to the foul line as that one fouled off on the left side, 1-1. This is the most diversity that Etheridge has had to face in this game so far. Is that leadoff home run in the fourth, the only run he's given up, and then after that retires the next 3 in order. And before this inning had not dealt with a runner in scoring position. Count is 2-1. Copeland flies this one into left center. This should be enough to score Fossil from third. Berryman will hold up at second. The sac fly is successful. Tack up an RBI for Copeland, and it's back to a one-run ball game. 3-2 our score. So we've now seen scoring in 3 consecutive half innings. Central Washington had one in the top of the fourth on the solo home run from Olin. Then NNU got it back on the RBI single from Salzman in the bottom of 4, and now the sac fly for Copeland, scoring Fossil. Runner at second and 2 away. This is Mitch Lesmeister. 0 for 2 is flown out to right on 2 occasions. For Copeland, that is his 8th run batted in of the season. And for Fossil in the 9th spot, that is the 12th run he has scored this year. Man on second, Zach Berryman, team leader in runs scored. He's got 38. Oh, 2. Goes chasing the high stuff. Lesmeister will be struck out 6K for Kyle Etheridge, and it ends the fifth. 1 run scores on 1 hit, no errors. Runner left on base. 3-2 our score. Central Washington back within 1. NNU coming to the plate in the bottom of the fifth with Gonzalez, Ayers, and more due up.
Your score, Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 3. The NCAA Division II institutions and conferences emphasize the student-athlete experience as a comprehensive program of learning and development in a personal setting. Join the more than 75,000 NCAA Division II student-athletes who are saying, make it yours. Leading off, the first baseman, number 23, John Gonzalez.
Three 2 Northwest Nazarene leading Central Washington as we get into the bottom of the fifth inning. It's been back and forth these last couple of frames, a run each for Central Washington and NNU in the fourth, and Wildcats get another one in the top of 5. Sac fly from Michael Copeland to score Fossil after Berryman's double puts Fossil at third. This is John Gonzalez leading us off in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 off speed misses, not by much, 2-0. Gonzalez was at the plate in the fourth, but then Salzman put out at second base to end the inning. Gonzalez out in front puts it into the bullpen down the right field line. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one fouled straight back, 2-2. We saw the first scoring of this game come in the bottom of 2. This young man at the plate, Gonzalez, with the 2-run home run, made it a 2-0 NNU lead. Central struck back in the top of 4 with an Austin Olin home run. That made it 2-1. 2-2 pitch, misses low and away. We got a full count. Nighthawks got it back in the bottom of the fourth. RBI single from Salzman with 2 outs. Pushed their lead back out to 2 runs at 3-1. And then we just saw the sac fly from Copeland make it 3-2. That was in the top of the fifth. So a full count on the first battery is seen in the inning for Dylan Larson. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball, got him looking. Strikeout number 7 for Dylan Larson. He has had one in each inning of this game so far. And he's got one away in the bottom of 5. Here's Quentin Ayers with one away and the base is empty. First pitch misses high and away. This NNU team had a chance to face what is currently the number 1 ranked team nationally in NCAA Division II baseball in Colorado Mesa. Faced them a couple of times back at the leadoff weekend in Grand Junction. That's the home of Colorado Mesa. Back in February, and put up 18 runs against CMU in one of those games. Split the 2 against the Mavericks. And an 18-6 win over what is currently the #1 team in Division II baseball. They've only lost 3 games this season. One of them's been to the Nighthawks. Here's a 2-1. Sharp grounder just foul down the third base line by Ayers. His count moves 2-2. For Central Washington, they've only played 4 non-conference games this year. Here's a chopper out to short, backhanded by Tripoli. Throw's going to be high, sails over the head of Hill. Ayers holds up at first. It's going to be an infield single for him. So that's hits for 2 of the last 3 batters, going back to the 4th for Northwest Nazarene. 4 hits total now in this game for NNU. Here is Walker Moore, the shortstop. Moore did strike out his first time up. This is the end of the second time through the order for NNU. Is Moore hitting in the 9th spot. That's high and away, 2-0. Two pitch. Called strike, catches the outside edge on the left-hander. Moore out of Provo, Utah, is south of Salt Lake City and also the home of Brigham Young University. 3-1 now the count. Three-one line to left field. Down for a base hit. Berryman will scoop it up. Back-to-back singles for the Nighthawks. Moore at first, Ayers out to second, and back to the top of the order with Ryan Deering.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Ryan Deering.
No action yet in the Wildcat bullpen, so they're intent on going with Dylan Larson for at least a couple more frames, it would seem. Right now, Larson 80 pitches deep right now. So certainly doesn't have too much left, depending on how long they want him to go here. And you also have to think about the fact that this is a senior, and this is a team that really needs to win the GNAC championships to continue their season on to the regionals. So burning Larson's arm for 110, 120 pitches, not out of the question. That's going to be Hayden Keller pinch running as we see Ayers come off.
22, Hayden Keller.
So that's going to be the day for Ayers. He goes 1 for 2. Ryan Deering waiting his 1-1 count. Again, we have a pinch runner, and that's Hayden Keller now at second base. Pinch running for the DH, Quentin Ayers. As NNU tries to stretch their lead back out. Runners at first and second, 1 away. Deering fouls it off, 1-2. So Keller, who has appeared in 25 games, make it 26 now with this pinch running appearance. We'll see if he stays in the lineup. He's a 402 hitter, so it wouldn't be out of the question for him to just take the DH spot from Ayers. 3-2 ball game, NNU leading. Trying to stretch it back out. Larson in some trouble. 1-2 misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So as I was saying about Dylan Larson, yeah, pitch count is getting up there, but this is a kid in his last year of collegiate baseball. And you really can't be in a situation, if you're the Wildcats, to be in a mindset that you're saving any one for tomorrow. It's pretty much win or go home for this GNAC championships. Got to win the tournament to move on to the West Regionals. Currently sitting in the 5 spot in the region. Only 3 teams are going to advance to it. It's now a full count on the center fielder, Ryan Deering. He's got a line out to short and a strikeout. Payoff pitch. Fouls off a fastball. And we have begun to see some movement in the Central Washington bullpen. Looks like there is a right-hander that has just begun to throw. Moore at first, Keller at second base. Singles for each of them after Gonzalez struck out looking to start the inning. So 2 of the 5 hits in this game for the Nighthawks have come in this frame. Here's a 3-2. Another foul away as Deering hangs tough. Ryan Deering, second team All-GNAC this year. Team leader in batting average, hitting .379. First in the conference in steals with 21. Tied along with his teammate Sean Grandmont. And first in the conference in runs scored with 45. 3-2 and another foul away. He continues to battle. Larson really having to labor here in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. Deering not going away. Top of this NNU lineup has been fairly quiet. Deering, Moore, and Grandmont, 1, 2, 3 hitters, combined 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts right now. You fold Grant Carey into the 4 spot into that. They're 0 for 8. However, Carey has gotten a board on an error and scored, as well as picked up a steal. Another 3-2. This one flown into center field. Fossil moving in on it. Goes to a knee on a slide. He's able to make the catch for an important second out for the Wildcats. And that'll bring up Colton Moore. So the top half of the order continues to struggle for Central Washington. 1 through 4 hitters, a combined 0 for 9 now. It's the back half that's getting it done. 5 through 9 hitters for the Nighthawks, each with a hit. They're combined 5 for 10, a home run, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. This is the second baseman, Colton Moore. He's got Walker Moore at first, Hayden Keller, the pinch runner at second base, replaced Quentin Ayers, who had a 1-out single earlier in the inning. First offering in. Colton Moore takes ball number 1. Two on and 2 outs. 1-0 misses low and away, 2 balls, no strikes. 3-2 ball game. Wildcats trying to keep it close, and Larson trying to get himself out of a little bit of trouble. There's a called strike, 2-1. Got going at 1 o'clock, so just about an hour and a half into this ball game, and just past the halfway point of game 1 of a best-of-3 series between the number 1 seed Nighthawks and the number 2 seed Wildcats. 2-1. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. That one running away from Moore, and he goes chasing it. Can't get a piece. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Moore goes chasing the high one. 8th strikeout for Dylan Larson. Gets himself out of trouble. No runs, couple hits, and 2 left on in the bottom of the 5th. Wildcats remain within 1 run. 3-2, Northwest Nazarene leads as we've got 5 in the books.
Left on. After 5 complete, your score Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 3. Live video for every game of the 2021 GNAC Baseball Championships is available online on your computer or mobile device. Simply visit gnac.tv. Leading off for Central Washington, the catcher, number 37, Austin Olin.
5 innings in the books here in Nampa. 3-2 Northwest Nazarene lead over Central Washington. They made a little noise in the bottom of 5 as well. Back-to-back one-out singles, but 2 left on as Dylan Larson works out of trouble. Gets a fly out to center, and then a swinging strikeout to end the inning. Middle of the order for the Wildcats, Olin, McLean, and Peter coming to the plate. 2-0 misses low. So now a 3-0 count on the catcher, Austin Olin, who homered his last time up. Team leading 5th home run for the Wildcats. 3-0 misses. That's a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Second walk given up by Kyle Etheridge, and he's walked a man in 2 consecutive frames now. Last time he did that, came in to score as a one-out single of Adam Fossil, who scored on a sac fly later in the inning.
Tyler McLean.
So here's Tyler McLean, the right fielder, hitting in the 5 spot. 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a pop out to short. Tries to push a bunt down the first base line, but it rolls foul for strike number 1. So Central Washington utilizing some small ball here in the top of the 6th as they just try and move the tying run into scoring position. We'll see if McLean's going to show a bunt here in a 0-1 count. 0-1, he's going to get the hit away, but takes it low, 1-1. So it looks like the Wildcats just wanted that one look at a sac bunt to push him over, but after the foul, they're just going to let McLean go for it. Time called for by the catcher, Ben Johnson. He's going to go out and have a conversation with Etheridge. As we talked about, there was a little movement in the Central Washington bullpen. There's just some light throwing, nothing serious, and it looks like they've stopped for now. So I imagine we're going to be seeing Larson again for the 6th. And nothing going for Northwest Nazarene as well. Both these pitchers now qualified for a win. Etheridge, the one in position for it, as he's got 5+ in the books, holding a 1-run lead. Runner at first after the leadoff walk for Olin. Here's the 1-1. That's going to miss outside to McLean, 2-1. Tyler McLean just missed hitting 300 this season. He hit .299 over 27 games, 29 hits and 97 at-bats. There's a cut to make it 2-2. And before Olin's home run earlier in the ballgame, he was tied for the team lead in homers. But now he sits one behind his teammate and currently the man on first. Here's a chopper back up the middle at short. Moore's got it. Tosses it to Colton Moore at second. Back to first in time. They double it up. Middle infield of Walker Moore and Colton Moore roll the 6-4-3 double play, and that takes care of the leadoff walk.
Now batting the second baseman, number 8, Michael Porter.
Here's Michael Peter, 2 outs and nobody on. The second baseman hitless in the game. Ground out to first. And a swinging strikeout. So that quickly takes care of a base runner on with nobody out. Big double play. That's the first one we've seen rolled in this game. And that's just about as tailor-made as you can get. A pretty solid roller out towards second base, and the shortstop Walker Moore able to take care of it. Here's one to Colton Moore at second. Flips it over to first. That'll do it for the top of the 6th. No runs, hits, or errors. Kyle Etheridge faces the minimum in the inning. 3-2 Northwest Nazarene leads through 5.5.
No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. The score, Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 3. Leading off, the third baseman, number 12, Sean Grandmont.
Bottom of 6th, 3-2 our score. Northwest Nazarene holding on to a 1-run lead over Central Washington. First batter up is Sean Grandmont. Grounder to third base side off the glove of Mitch Lesmeister and rolls out into left field for a leadoff reach for Grandmont.
Now batting the right fielder, number 35, Grant Carey.
There'll be an E5 reach for Grandmont. Error going against the third baseman, Mitch Lesmeister. Second error for Central Washington. And third total we've seen in this game. So leadoff man on. Here's Grant Carey. Carey, the right fielder and the newcomer of the year. Did score in the 4th. Got aboard on an error and came in on an RBI single. That got Henning their third and most recent run. Now 1-0 count on the right fielder, Carey. Here's a pitch. There's a called strike. Evens it up 1-1. Central Washington got the tying run on base to lead off the top of the sixth, but then a 6-4-3 double play ended that. It was Olin that got aboard on the walk. Runner takes off. Pickoff move over to first. It might not be in time anyway. The speed of Grandmont gets him out to second. Now, Sean Grandmont, a kid that had stolen 21 bases on the season. Larson made the move over. It didn't matter. Grandmont so fast. That's steal number 22 for him.
Faster than their pros.
So that puts Grandmont alone atop the GNAC in steals, now with 22. He was tied with his teammate Ryan Deering. Each had 21 before that swipe. So now Grandmont alone is the conference leader in stolen bases this season. It's a 1-2 count on Grant Carey. Runner at second and nobody out.
Now, if he throws a strike to first base, might be a little closer.
There's a 1-2 up and in. Carey tries to throw the arm into it. Doesn't catch it. 2-2. Still nobody out here in the bottom of six. Another opportunity for NNU to expand their lead. They left runners on for the first time in this game in the fifth. 2-2, a little check swing. They're going to peel down. No, he did not go. So Carey's count moves full. Air reach to start the inning for Grandmont, and he's already out at second after stealing a bag. Second steal of the game for NNU. The man at the plate, Grant Carey, had the other, and that was back in the fourth, turned into a run later in the inning. Here's a 3-2. Breaking ball. Got him looking. Ninth strikeout of the game for Dylan Larson. That's a big one.
Now batting the catcher, number 14.
Does not provide Grandmont an opportunity to advance to third and set up a sac fly situation. Here's Ben Johnson. Single and a run for Johnson. That came back in the second. He's 1 for 2. Again, as we've talked about, it's been the back of this Nighthawks order that has created their offensive production. As now the top four in the order have each come up 3 times. They are 0 for 12 with 5 strikeouts, 2 air reaches in there, and 5 through 9, as we talked about. All 5 of the hits for NNU in the game. Home run for John Gonzalez in the 7th spot. That one flown foul down the right side by Johnson. Wind bringing it back towards fair territory. That's going to fall in. No one can get there. And Grandmont advances over to third. So it'll be a single for Ben Johnson. And there's that wind playing a factor. Any other day, and that's a foul ball. It just finds a spot in between McLean, the right fielder, and Hill, the first baseman. Neither could get there and had just enough wind to push it a couple of feet over the right field chalk and in for a single. That's a tough break. If you're Central Washington, for NNU, puts runners on the corners, 1 out. Johnson at first and Grandmont over to third. Brings the sac fly back into the equation. Do have movement again in the Central Washington bullpen. Tough to see who exactly that is from here. It's so far down the right field line, but there is a right-hander that has been throwing for the Wildcats. Larson just getting his first visit on the mound. So now Etheridge and Larson have been getting a visit. We're going to see Kyle Etheridge again for the 7th, as there's no one up right now for Northwest Nazarene in their pen. You got to think that Dylan Larson's getting close to the end of his rope. 105 pitches so far. It's been 5 1/3 innings. First pitch in for Alex Salzman, fouled away. 0-1 count on Salzman. RBI single in the fourth. That was his last time up. 2 runners on for him now. Breaking ball he takes. Just misses 1-1. Been an error and a base hit in this inning. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, goes after one inside. Taking off for second is Johnson. So he'll advance on the wild pitch. So now we've seen an error and a wild pitch put runners second and third. And Larson really could use a strikeout here. He's got a 1-2 count on Salzman. He struck him out once in this game. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt. Olin's going to freeze the runner at first, throw it down, and that is a big K for Dylan Larson. His 10th strikeout of the game. And for the senior, that is the 4th time this season that he has reached double figures in strikeouts. And he has done it 3 of his last 4 appearances. So now in 2 outings against NNU, he has thrown a combined 10 2/3 innings, striking out 20. 2 away for John Gonzalez. If you're the Nighthawks, this is exactly who you want up with a couple men aboard. 2-run homer back in the second. He's 1 for 2. Inning started with Grandmont reaching. Sharp grounded to third, turned into an error on Lesmeister. He stole second. 1-0 pitch. Chopper over the head of Larson. This one's trouble. Here's Tripoli. Got to make a quick throw to first. Dug out by Hill. They're going to say he was off the bag. A tough play made by Trevor Tripoli. The throw to first would have beat him, but Hill comes off of the bag. An infield RBI single for John Gonzalez. His 3rd RBI of the game. And NNU gets their lead back to 2. It is now 4-2 Nighthawks. And now we're going to get a conversation between the 4 umpires again as the Wildcats head coach Desi Story wants them to talk this over. This is the 2nd time we've had all 4 umpires come together to discuss a close play at first. And again, just like last time, the only one that's going to be able to overturn this would be the home plate umpire. It's a 4-man crew. The ones at second and third, no way they can make a call like that. They don't have the angle for it. The first base umpire already made his call. He says the man's off the bag. Now, if the home plate umpire saw something separate, we could get a change here, and that would be big for the Wildcats. But no, they're going to keep the call.
The home plate umpire was watching that, I guarantee it, but he was doing it from this side of home plate because the mechanic is he can't go on.
So the play stands. RBI infield single for John Gonzalez. His 2nd hit of the game. He's 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. So it is a 4-2 NNU lead. Matching their largest lead of the game. They led 3-1. Central Washington's been able to stick close. They had a run in the 4th and the 5th. First pitch, Sam misses high and away. This is Hayden Keller. He came in a pinch run in the bottom of the 5th inning and now gets his first at bat of the game. He came in to replace Quentin Ayers, who went 1 for 2 as the DH. Keller, 400 hitter this season. A junior from Minden, Nevada, went to Mendocino Community College for JUCO ball before coming here to NNU. Keller awaits his 2-0. Runners at first and third. There's a called strike. It's Gonzalez at first, Johnson at third base. That is another unearned run that's going against Larson's line for the day. 2 of the 4 runs he's given up in this game have been unearned. 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, 2-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 4-2 NNU lead. Picked up a run earlier in the frame. Here's a 2-2. Check swing, 1 in the dirt. Gonzalez out to second. There's another wild pitch, second wild pitch of the inning for Larson. Hayden Keller sticking in the DH spot after pinch running. Got stranded at second base in the 5th. That was a big stop for Central Washington. Back-to-back one-out singles got left aboard. 3-2 offering. Goes with a breaking pitch. Can't catch the outside edge. That's going to load the bases.
Now batting the shortstop, number 43, Walker Moore.
And that is the first base on balls issued by Dylan Larson, and it looks like that'll be the day for him. As Larson can't quite get out of the 6th inning. So we'll step aside for a moment for a pitching change. Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded and 2 outs. Walker Moore going to be due up when we come back.
Now pitching for Central Washington, number 22, Dylan Weiss.
Dylan Weiss in to pitch for Central Washington. Inherits quite the situation. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-2, Nighthawks leading. He's facing the 9-hole hitting shortstop Walker Moore. First pitch in for Moore, misses for ball number 1. He replaces the senior Dylan Larson. He goes 5 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. 1-0 offering, called strike to even the count at 1-1. So Larson leaves on the hook for the loss, and also with 3 base runners on base that he is responsible for. 1-1. Moore takes called strike number 2. So the situation right now, Hayden Keller's at first, John Gonzalez at second, Ben Johnson at third with 2 outs, and Dylan Weiss a pitch away from getting himself and the Wildcats out of a tough spot here in the bottom of 6th. 1-2. This one hit back up the middle. Base hit for Moore. This should score a couple. Johnson's going to be in to score. Gonzalez as well. Keller heads all the way to third on the play. It's a 2 RBI single for Walker Moore. His second hit today. And NNU starting to open things up here in the bottom of the 6th. It's become a 3-run inning. And it's now a 4-run lead at 6-2. Nighthawks on top. So both those runs are going to go against Larson's line. That moves his number right now to 5 2/3 and 6 runs scored. And I believe both of those will be unearned runs as well. Yeah, all the scoring in this inning is going to be unearned runs. So it's just 2 earned against Larson of the 6 that he's allowed. So still 2 away, back to the top of the order with Ryan Deering. He is the 8th batter of the inning and the team leader in batting average. But a quiet day at the plate. 0 for 3 with a strikeout, line out to short, and a fly out to center. It's now Moore at first after the 2 RBI base hit. Keller got himself to third on the play. 0-1. This is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Weiss. This is inside, 2-1. Dylan Weiss, a sophomore, makes his home in Poway, California. Played junior college ball at San Diego Mesa before heading to Central Washington. 2-1 offering, no good, 3-1. On the season, Weiss, a 1-2 record, 3.56 his ERA. This is the 4th time he has come out of the pen. Also made 4 starts this year. 3-1, and he loses them. So Deering's going to get walked on. Second walk of the inning. It'll load the bases for the 2nd time in this inning, and it's also going to allow NNU to bat around here in the 6th. This is their 9th batter of the inning, Colton Moore. A chance for the Nighthawks to really bust this one open. We've seen 3 hits, 2 walks, an error, a stolen base in the inning. Both of the outs recorded in this inning have been by strikeout. The count is 0-1 on the second baseman, Colton Moore. 0 for 3. Fouls it off, he's down 0-2. Weiss has faced Northwest Nazarene once this season. The sophomore threw 4 innings back on March 19th. Did not allow a run. 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's responsible for 2 base runners on right now. Hayden Keller, the man at third, the last that Larson is responsible for. Count remains 0-2 after a foul off by Colton Moore. And Moore, at this point, the last Nighthawk batter to not reach. He struck out twice and flown out to center. 0-2. Takes it high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, not everyone on NU has a hit. We got a couple guys that got on just by walk. A couple guys that have got on just by the air. That's Grandmont and Carey that have air reaches and no hits. 6-2, a 4-run NNU lead. 1-2 got him looking, and that will get Central Washington out of the inning. But the damage done. 3 runs score on the power of 3 hits. There was an error and 3 left on, as NNU has left 5 on over the last 2 innings. Regardless, they lead 6-2 as we go to the 7th.
Left on base. After 6 complete, your score, Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 6. Shortstop, number 2, Trevor Tripoli.
Six-two Nighthawks going to the top of the 7th as we get a defensive change. This is Kyle Etheridge still on the mound for NNU, back for his 7th inning of work. At second base, we see a change. Colton Moore out, Kyle Payne in defensively for NNU. So Moore, after going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, is done after 6 innings. 2-0 count. Etheridge delivers, and this is Trevor Tripoli, the batter, fouls it off 2-1. So we'll be seeing Payne at second base, theoretically the rest of the way. Freshman from Bellingham, Washington. Bellingham, the home of another GNAC school in Western Washington University. Swing and a miss. That makes it a 2-2 count on Tripoli. However, Vikings no longer with a baseball program. They do have softball still up in Western Washington, but no longer baseball for Western. That misses, and now a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch from Etheridge. Gets a foul away by Tripoli. A lot of action in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 runs scored for Northwest Nazarene. Inning started with an air reach for Sean Grandmont. Singles in there for Johnson, Gonzalez, and Moore. Gonzalez picks up an RBI on his single, and Walker Moore picks up 2 RBI on his. Northwest Nazarene had the bases loaded on 2 separate occasions in the inning. They forced Dylan Larson out of the ballgame and got a hold of Dylan Weiss for a couple of base runners as well. Another 3-2 try. Tripoli flies this one into center field. Deering moving straight back on it. A couple steps in front of the warning track. He is able to get there and make the catch for out number 1. Well, to get you caught up on what's happened so far in this ball game,
First baseman, number 33, Jason Hill.
NNU has led the entire way. They got their first runs in the second, 2-run home run from John Gonzalez. Central got one in the 4th on a homer from Austin Olin. This is Jason Hill who swings on his first pitch. Can of corn to center, and Hill will put it away. 2 down.
Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Adam Fossil.
Kyle Etheridge really settling in nicely. Since that home run in the 4th, Etheridge has just given up 1 base hit to the last 14 batters he has seen. He got 2 outs. Nobody on base. The batter is Adam Fossil. He's in a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Oh, to continue that scoring recap, NNU had the 2-run home run in the 2nd. Central got within 1 with Olin's homer in the 4th. NNU got it right back, RBI single for Salzman. Top of 5, a sac fly from Michael Copeland for Central Washington got it to a 3-2 game. And then NNU widening things up, their largest lead coming when 3 runs scored in the 6th. 2 RBI single for Walker Moore, RBI single for John Gonzalez in the inning. And that's made it the 4-run ball game we see right now. Top of the 7th, 2 outs and nobody on. A 2-2 from Etheridge. He's been rolling. Gets him looking, and he sets him down in order here in the 7th. 7 strikeouts in 7 innings for Kyle Etheridge. And he's got himself a 4-run lead, 6-2 as we head to the stretch.
No one left on base. The score through 6.5. Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 6. Fans, the NCAA Division II baseball tournament bracket will be announced on NCAA.com this Sunday at 7 p.m. Tune in to watch the free live stream of this year's regional brackets. That's Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific time at NCAA.com. Central Washington, number 32, Ryan Marstiller.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary.
Leading off, the third baseman, number 12, Sean Grandmont.
Kyle Etheridge rolling, and he's got 7 innings in his back pocket, allowing just 2 runs on 3 hits. He has struck out 7. And Northwest Nazarene with a 6-2 lead over Central Washington in game number 1 of the best 3 series to decide the 2021 GNAC Baseball Championship. Sean Grandmont leading things off in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, chopped down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. Grandmont thought it was going foul, so he kind of just takes a couple of slow steps down the line, and he's going to be retired. 5-3, 1 pitch and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Wildcats are on to their 3rd pitcher of the game. So Dylan Weiss comes in relief and just faces 3 batters. So his line, 1/3 of an inning of work, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. He leaves with no decision. The new man on the hill, this is Ryan Marstiller, a right-hander out of Denver, Colorado. 1 out and nobody on. He faces Grant Carey, who takes ball number 1. Marstiller, one of a couple of McCook Community College transfers for Central Washington, along with Jason Hill. So 1-0 taken through the 5-hole by Carey for a 1-out base hit. That's the first hit of the day for Grant Carey in his 2nd reach. All in all, that's hit number 9 now for Northwest Nazarene. That'll bring up Ben Johnson. Nighthawks in search of win number 30 of the season if they get it here today. First pitch fouled away. Now NNU, should they win the GNAC championship, that would make it 31 wins on the season. That'd be the most in a season since 2008. Kick, here's the 0-1 breaking ball. Swing and a miss by Johnson, puts him into an 0-2 count. Now back in 2008, the Nighthawks went 32-22. And again, should NNU get those 2 wins to make it 31 total, be tied for the most for an NNU team since joining the GNAC back in 2002. 0-2 pitch. That'll miss in the dirt, ball number 1. Now the record for the most single-season wins for a GNAC team, that came back in 2005. Western Oregon University posted 42 wins that season. And they are the only GNAC team to eclipse 40 wins in a season. They've done it on a couple of occasions. Marstiller, a nice pick, throws it out to second for 1, back over to first. Not in time for the double play, but a nice reaction from the right-hander to pick it and throw to second for the out there. It'll be a fielder's choice reach for Johnson. They get the lead man. Carey is retired. Johnson on first now with 2 outs, and that brings up Alex Salzman. The left fielder is 1 for 3, RBI single back in the 4th. 2 strikeouts as well. First pitch rips this one into center field, but Fossil able to make the move over to his left and make the catch. That'll end the bottom of the 7th. No runs, a hit, man left at first base. We got 7 in the books. 6-2, NNU leads. We head to the 8th.
No runs, one hit, no errors, with one man left on base. After 7 complete, your score: Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 6. Under Armour is the official apparel supplier of the Great Northwest Athletic Conference office and a proud sponsor of GNAC championship events. Under Armour, turn wish into will. Now pitching for Northwest Nazarene, number 19, Blake McFadden. Leading off, the left fielder, number 11, Zach Berryman.
6-2 the score. Northwest Nazarene leading Central Washington. 7 complete innings for Kyle Etheridge as he will be replaced on the mound for NNU. This is Blake McFadden, second team all GNAC reliever, in to replace Etheridge. He went 7 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Leaves in position for his 6th win of the season. Hands the ball over to McFadden, who's 4-0 this year with a 2.11 ERA. The top earned run average on the team for the Nighthawks of qualified pitchers. McFadden, senior from Meridian. 6'3", 185 pounds. Another left-hander, so it's been lefties all the way that Central Washington hitters have had to deal with. 1-1. This is Zach Berryman at the plate. He takes it outside, 2-1. McFadden, 2 relief outings against Central Washington this season. Has not allowed a run to them. In 2 relief appearances, a combined 3 innings, no runs, 3 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts for him. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for Berryman. Doubled back in the 5th, but got stranded at second base in that inning. 2-2. Here's a grounder out towards second. Here's Payne. First defensive play we've seen him make in the ball game, and he'll take care of business for 1 out. The Wildcats starting to run out of time. They've just got 5 outs at the plate left to work with, trailing by 4.
The designated hitter, number 15, Michael Copeland.
And that brings up Michael Copeland. That 3-run 6 really making things a lot more comfortable for the Nighthawks. First pitch for Copeland is a called strike. Kyle Etheridge, really solid second half of his appearance. We talked about in that 4th inning, give up the leadoff home run. Then after that, only allowed one more base hit, and he only faced 2 more than the minimum after that home run to lead off the 4th. Had 1, 2, 3 innings in the 6th and the 7th. Retired the side in order in the 4th after the homer. Then had the walk in the double for a run in the 5th. That's it. 1-2 count on the DH Copeland. He's got an RBI, a single, and hit by a pitch, so he's 1 for 1 in the game. 1-2, takes it foul to stay alive. McFadden from a stretch. Runs the 1-2 inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Uses the first base side of the rubber, so really emphasizes that left-on-left matchup. If you're Copeland at the plate, that thing's got to be looking like it's coming at your hip when it comes out of the hand of McFadden, and he'll swing through it. McFadden's got his first strikeout of the day, 2 down. On the season, McFadden now 23 strikeouts with that one. Coming in today, he'd thrown 21 and a third innings, allowing only 5 runs. Again, a 2.11 earned run average. 22 strikeouts, 5 walks, make it 23-5 his strikeout to walk ratio now with that one. Swing and a miss. This is Mitch Lesmeister. Opponent batting average of 182 against McFadden. That's second only to Max Holtzclaw for NNU's best pitchers' opponent batting average. Lesmeister, a 1-1 count. Central has had 7 straight batters retired. Have not had a base hit since the 5th. At this point, that was 11 batters ago. McFadden, 2-1. This one ripped towards the left center field gap. That's going to be down for a base hit. Lesmeister takes a turnaround first. He's going to be able to cruise into second, standing up with a 2-out double. The throw-in almost gets away down the left field line. So Lesmeister took a look, but he holds up at second base. So for Lesmeister, that is double number 10 this season. Ties him for the team lead in 2 baggers with Austin Oland. Still a lot of work to do for the Wildcats, and Oland will be the batter. He's got a home run in the ball game already. 6-2, Nighthawks leading. Pitch taken outside for ball number 1. Oland 1 for 2. Home run in the 4th, walked in the 6th. Hasn't been retired since the first inning. 1-0 pops this one up foul, third base side. Grandmont will give it a look. He's over at the wall, but just out of his reach as it bounces in the back of the bullpen down the third base side. So the count now 1-1. After that foul off by Oland. This one driven into center field. Deering looks like he's got a read on it. Makes a catch. That'll end the inning. So a 2-out double is left at second base. Lesmeister stranded aboard. No runs, a hit. And now we got 7.5 in the books. Central Washington just 3 outs at the plate left to work with. They're going to have to play some defense first as well, trailing 6-2.
In the top of the 8th, there were no runs on 1 hit, no NNU errors with 1 win.
Well, so it looks like they're going to say a balk on that last pitch. So that's actually not going to end the inning. We were rolling things up and heading to the bottom of the 8th. Instead, Austin Olin will come back to the plate. 2-1 count. So it was a balk that they're calling after the play rolled out. So that puts Lesmeister over at third. So the inning rolls on. And yeah, quite the delayed ball call there. It's 2-2 now, the count on Oland, who had lined it into center field. They let that play roll out. Instead of the last out of the inning, Oland's at bat continues 2-2. He'll dribble this one down the first baseline. Picking it up is Gonzalez. So instead of a line out to center field, it is a ground out to first. That's how the inning will end. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left at third. 6-2 the score. Northwest Nazarene leading. They'll come back to the plate for the bottom of the 8th.
Leading off, the first baseman, number 23, John Gonzalez.
Bottom of the 8th here at Vale Baseball Field, and a 6-2 Northwest Nazarene lead over Central Washington. Nighthawks a chance at the plate to extend their lead. They're just going to need 3 more defensive outs to put away game number 1, and it's going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Wildcats coming up in the top of the 9th. But until then, 7, 8, 9 for NNU here in the 8th. Gonzalez, Keller, and Moore the batters. 1-0 for John Gonzalez is fouled off on the left side, 1-1. He's facing Ryan Marstiller, who's back for his second inning of relief. Gave up 1 hit in the 7th, faced 4 batters. Gonzalez having himself a nice first game of the GNAC Championships. 2 for 3, a homer. 2 runs scored, 3 RBI. Marstiller's 2-1. Gonzalez pulls this one down the right field line. Got a lot of length on it, but is a little bit too far out in front of it. It's just a long foul ball to make it 2-2. And it seems like we'll be seeing Blake McFadden again for the 9th for NNU. There's no activity in their pen right now. In his first inning of relief, gave up a 2-out double, but fairly uneventful 8th for Central Washington. Two balls and 2 strikes on Gonzalez. Marstiller. The offering fouled off. Both these starting pitchers going deep into their outings. 117 pitches for Dylan Larson in his 5 2/3. Etheridge a little more efficient, 112 pitches in 7 innings of work. Another 2-2 that misses way outside. Full count.
We would always argue where the better baseball is at, Florida or California. Me being from Iowa, I just took Switzerland.
3-2. Roped at second. Michael Peter, one step to his left, able to make the catch for out number 1 of the inning.
No, he's from.
LNU's been able to double up Central in the hit column. 8 hits for the Nighthawks, just 4 for Central Washington. And 3 errors playing a factor in this ball game for the Wildcats. As of the 6 runs allowed, only 2 have been earned. That included 3 unearned runs in the 6th. The batter now is Hayden Keller with 1 out and the bases empty. First pitch is a ball. Keller came in as a pinch runner in the 5th. He's stayed in since then, walked in the 6th inning, and was stranded at third base. He takes a strike and his count evens at 1-1. This one put on the ground out towards second. Peter has to range to his right. Diving can't get there. It sneaks through for a 1-out single. So Hayden Keller, a single and a walk, hasn't been retired in the game. He gets himself aboard. 1 on and 1 out for NNU. So here's Walker Moore, the shortstop. Solid day in the 9 spot for him as well. 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. Both hit singles. Those coming in the 5th and 6th inning, as he hit in 2 of the runs in that 3-run 6th for the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. First pitch in for Moore, taken for a strike. So should this score stand, NNU will be 1 win away from a 2021 GNAC title. Oh, one pitch misses outside, 1-1. And again, we'll get going at noon tomorrow for day number 2. That's game number 2 at noon, and then there'll be a game 3 if necessary to follow. 1-1 in for called strike. 1-2 on Walker Moore. A little flare into left field on the 1-2. That is hit number 3 of the day for Walker Moore. Back-to-back singles for NNU. Puts 2 on with 1 out. We're back to the top of the order with Ryan Deering. Also makes it 10 hits today for the Nighthawks. 7 of those 10 hits belong to the 7-8-9 hitters. 2 for Gonzalez. Ayers and Keller combining in the 8 slot for 2, and then 3 for Moore. There's a little blooper just over the head of the second baseman Peter and into shallow center field. Keller has to hold up at third base. Oh, just a little Texas leaguer for Ryan Deering, but it'll work for 3 consecutive hits. Bases juiced. And it looks like we're going to get another mound visit, as Ryan Marsteller having some trouble finding outs. Nothing particularly hard hit in the inning either. It's a little grounder out of the range of the second baseman. Flare into shallow left, and then blooper over the top of second base. That's been it. So now all of a sudden 11 hits for NNU. They only had 3 hits through their first 4 innings, and now 8 over the last 4.
second baseman, number 48, Kyle Payne.
I got a good feeling about this. It's his first at bat. Yeah. On TV.
So here's Kyle Payne. This will be the first at bat for him. Bases loaded and one out. Payne entered the game in the top of the seventh as a defensive replacement for Colton Moore. On the season, this is his 22nd appearance. The third time he has come in as a reserve. 0-1. I'll just miss 1-1. 188 batting average for Payne over those 21 previous games. One offering. There's called strike number 2. And Marsh still looking for a big second out of the inning. Deering at first, Moore at second base, Keller at third for the Nighthawks. They're in search of their 11th consecutive win against a conference opponent. 1-2. That runs inside and hits him. That's about the easiest RBI you can have if you're Kyle Payne. That's going to score Hayden Keller. The bases loaded hit by pitch. And it extends the lead to 5 now for the Nighthawks, 7-2.
Now batting the third baseman, number 12, Sean Grandmont.
Bases stayed loaded. And an insurance run for NNU. Grandmont, third baseman, puts it on the ground to third. Les Meister out to second for 1. Peter back to first, comes out of the glove of Hill. So that avoids the double play. It'll be a fielder's choice reach for Grandmont, bringing in a second run of the inning. They'll make it 8-2, NNU's lead.
Now batting the right fielder, number 30,
Deering was
Carey.
advancing to third. He'll be there. Payne was forced out at second base on the 5-4. So it's Grandmont at first, Deering at third. Runners on the corners with 2 away. Marsh Stiller from a stretch. Misses inside on Grant Carey, batter number 7 of the inning. NNU put 9 at the plate in the 6th. Other than that, they haven't had more than 5 up in an inning. Carey gets out in front of it and pulls it foul for a long first strike, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. One popped up shallow right field. McLean coming in. He'll call for it. Makes a catch and ends the inning, but 2 insurance runs in the books for Northwest Nazarene. They get 2 runs on the power of 3 hits, 2 left aboard. We go to the 9th. Central Washington down to their last 3 outs. 8-2, the NNU lead.
The Nighthawks scored 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors. 2 men left on base. After 8 complete, your score: Central Washington 2, Northwest Nazarene 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you been up off that porch. Now can't nobody
fielder, number 25, Tyler McLean.
Top of the ninth inning, Central Washington up against the wall, trailing 8-2. They got 3 outs left to work with, and they'll be facing Blake McFadden, who's back for his second inning of work. 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th for Northwest Nazarene. They had 3 consecutive singles from their 8-9-1 hitters. And then Kyle Payne hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Sean Grandmont grounds into a fielder's choice to bring in another run and make this a 6-run Nighthawks lead. It's the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for Central Washington here in the top of the 9th inning. It begins with Tyler McLean, who's in a 1-1 count. Gets a hold of it, cranks it towards left field, moving over towards the gap, gets past Salzman and get to the wall. Turning for second is McLean. He's in standing up with a leadoff double. So the Wildcats do what they need to do. They get their leadoff runner on. Still a lot of work to do. Again, a 6-run deficit to try and overcome in the inning. But taking it hit by hit. That'll be the first of the day, in fact, for Tyler McLean, who's now 1 for 4. And only hit number 5 for the Wildcats as a team. Here's Michael Peter. First pitch is low and away. Peter, left-handed hitting second baseman, has grounded out twice in the game and struck out 0 for 3, his line. One 0 away again from McFadden. 2 balls, no strikes. Do have a defensive change for the Nighthawks. Cody Nisbet is now catching in place of Ben Johnson. So for whatever reason, this game went to the bottom of 9. Johnson, his final line would be 2 for 4, and Nisbet would hit in that 5 spot. 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. Johnson did score 2 runs in the ballgame, 1 in the second, and then 1 as a part of that 3-run 6th. Runner at second, nobody out. It was a leadoff double, that is, for Tyler McLean. 2-1's a called strike at the knees, 2-2. Wildcats have not had a multi-hit inning yet today. They've spread their hits throughout the ball game. Just not been able to string them together yet. 2-2 breaking ball. Just misses inside. Looked like a slider that just missed. Full count. So it's Peter up, Tripoli on deck, Hill waiting in the hole. That's 6, 7, 8 of the central order. 3-2 swing and a miss. Second strikeout for McFadden. 9th total for the NNU pitching staff today, and we've got 1 down in the top of 9.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 2, Trevor Tripoli.
Had 2 hours and 35 minutes into this ball game. We got going at 1:05 p.m. here in Nampa. Tripoli, the shortstop, has man at second and 1 out, has reached on an error in the game. But we have not seen any hitting from the back of the central order, 6 through 9 hitters without a hit. There was a walk and a run scored by Fossil in the 5th, but that's been it. Combined 0 for 12 in the 6 through 9 spots. 1-0 misses, 2-0 on Tripoli. McLean hanging tight at second. 8-2 the Nighthawks lead. 2-0. Little chopper out to third. Grandmont Puts it in the dirt. That'll be the second error of the game on NNU. 5th total. So we've seen 3 errors from Central Washington and 2 from Northwest Nazarene. And in fact, both of the errors that Northwest Nazarene has committed have allowed Tripoli to reach. He got a board on Colton Moore's error in the 2nd, and now he gets a board on Grandmont's error here in the 9th. We're going to see a pinch hitter coming up for Central. This is Yifan Pan that's coming in to hit for Jason Hill.
Pinch hitting for the Wildcats, number 31, Yifan Han.
So Jason Hill has his day end 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Replaced by the senior Pond from British Columbia. And certainly not much as far as collegiate baseball options north of the border. University of British Columbia does have a baseball program up there. Pond coming down to the States. Play his college ball. So Pond comes in with Tripoli at first, McLean at second base, and 1 out. He's in an 0-2 count. Top of the 9th and an 8-2 Northwest Nazarene lead. They just need 2 outs to lock up the win here in game number 1, the GNAC Championships. Here's the 0-2. This is outside for ball number 1, and wind picking up quite a bit here in these last few minutes of the ball game. Carrying in real quickly from right field. Might be able to notice those trees out beyond the left center field fence on the left side of your screen. Engaging how strong the wind is from those. Those are some sizable trees. They're really getting blown around as Pond's going to be retired. 3rd strikeout for McFadden, and it's now 2 away here in the top of the 9th. And we're going to get another pinch hitter. This will be Jake Engel.
Pinch hitting for the Wildcats, number 3, Jake Engel.
So 2 straight pinch hitters. Engel in to hit for Fossil. As Central tries to find a way to get something going, and now they're going to need a very big 2-out rally. Trailing by 6. First pitch from McFadden. Swing and a miss. Engel, right-handed hitting junior. One of a couple guys out of Poway, California that was a San Diego Mesa transfer. Chops it on the right side, ranging to his left is Payne. This should do it. Throw over to first. Gonna be there in time. And that'll do it for game number 1 of the GNAC Championships. It is an 8-2 Northwest Nazarene victory over Central Washington. Line score of this ball game for NNU: 8 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors. For Central Washington, 2 runs on 5 hits and 3 errors. The win in this one goes to Kyle Etheridge. He moves to 6-1 on the season. Dylan Larson will take the loss. That's just the 2nd of the season for him, as he drops to 3-2 after 5 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. So NNU in the driver's seat as we now turn our attention to day 2 of the GNAC Championships. It's going to be a noon start here tomorrow for Game 2. Game 3 to follow if necessary. So if NNU wins in that noon game, that'll be it. They will be the 2021 champions. Should Central Washington win, then we will have that Game 3 to follow. Again, the final score of this one, 8-2. Northwest Nazarene tops Central Washington. Had some solid offensive performances up and down the Nighthawks lineup with 11 hits for 8 runs. They had John Gonzalez go 2 for 4, 2-run home run, 2 runs scored, 3 RBI. Walker Moore hitting in the 9th spot, 3 for 4, a run scored and 2 RBI. And then a couple guys splitting the time in the 8th spot. Hayden Keller going 1 for 1 with a run scored. And Quentin Ayers 1 for 2 with a single. On the mound, Kyle Etheridge, 7 innings of work, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts to earn the win. Again, he moves to 6-1 on the year. Blake McFadden, 2 innings of shutout relief, allows just 2 hits and strikes out 3 to follow Etheridge. So a solid overall pitching performance from Northwest Nazarene. That's going to wrap up our broadcast. We appreciate you joining us on this Thursday afternoon. Again, game number 2 is going to go at noon Mountain Time tomorrow. Game 3 to follow if necessary. And in you, 1 win away from a 2021 title, Central Washington going to need a pair of wins on Friday to capture their 2nd title in their school history. We appreciate you joining us again. The final score 8-2. We will talk to you again on Friday.